Which type of muscle is striated and under voluntary control? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Visceral muscle. The correct answer is C. Skeletal muscles are striated and under voluntary control. Which type of muscle is found in the walls of hollow organs like the stomach and blood vessels? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Visceral muscle. The correct answer is A. Smooth muscles are found in the walls of hollow organs like the stomach and blood vessels. What is the neurotransmitter released at the neuromuscular junction to stimulate muscle contraction? A. Serotonin. B. Dopamine. C. Acetylcholine. D. Epinephrine. The correct answer is C. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter released at the neuromuscular junction to stimulate muscle contraction. Which protein primarily regulates muscle contractions by binding to calcium ions? A. Actin. B. Myosin. C. Troponin. D. Tropomyosin. The correct answer is C. Troponin primarily regulates muscle contractions by binding to calcium ions. What is the main energy molecule used by muscles for contraction? A. ATP. B. Glucose. C. Lactic acid. D. Pyruvate. The correct answer is A. ATP is the main energy molecule used by muscles for contraction. Which type of muscle contains intercalated discs that allow for rapid electrical conduction? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Visceral muscle. The correct answer is B. Cardiac muscles contain intercalated discs that allow for rapid electrical conduction. In muscle contraction, which protein interacts with actin to generate the power stroke? A. Myosin. B. Troponin. C. Tropomyosin. D. Calcium ions. The correct answer is A. Myosin interacts with actin to generate the power stroke in muscle contraction. What is the term for the smallest functional unit of a muscle fiber that can contract? A. Myofibril. B. Sarcomere. C. Myosin filament. D. Z-line. The correct answer is B. Sarcomere is the term for the smallest functional unit of a muscle fiber that can contract. Which type of muscle is responsible for the involuntary contractions of the heart? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Visceral muscle. The correct answer is B. Cardiac muscle is responsible for the involuntary contractions of the heart. What is the name of the structure where a motor neuron meets a muscle fiber? A. Synapse. B. Axon. C. Motor end plate. D. Junctional fold. The correct answer is C. The neuromuscular junction is the area where a motor neuron synapses with a muscle fiber, specifically at the motor end plate. Which molecule binds to calcium ions in skeletal muscle to initiate contraction? A. Actin. B. Myosin. C. Troponin. D. Tropomyosin. The correct answer is C. Troponin is the protein that binds to calcium ions in skeletal muscle, leading to the movement of tropomyosin and allowing myosin to bind to actin for muscle contraction. Which type of muscle is responsible for controlling voluntary movements, such as walking or lifting objects? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Visceral muscle. The correct answer is C. Skeletal muscle is under voluntary control and is responsible for movements that we can consciously control. What is the neurotransmitter responsible for relaxing muscles after contraction at the neuromuscular junction? A. Dopamine. B. Acetylcholine. C. Norepinephrine. D. Serotonin. The correct answer is B. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter responsible for muscle contraction at the neuromuscular junction, and its breakdown helps to relax the muscle after contraction. Which structure in muscle cells stores calcium ions and releases them upon muscle stimulation? A. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. B. Golgi apparatus. C. Endoplasmic reticulum. D. Mitochondria. The correct answer is A. The sarcoplasmic reticulum is a specialized endoplasmic reticulum in muscle cells responsible for storing and releasing calcium ions needed for muscle contraction. What is the term for the point of contact between actin and myosin filaments during muscle contraction? A. Cross bridge. B. Power stroke. C. Sliding filament. D. Z-disc. The correct answer is A. The cross bridge is the temporary molecular interaction between actin and myosin filaments during muscle contraction, allowing myosin to pull actin and generate force. Which type of muscle is characterized by spindle-shaped fibers and involuntary contractions? A. Cardiac muscle. B. Skeletal muscle. C. Smooth muscle. D. Visceral muscle. The correct answer is C. Smooth muscle has spindle-shaped fibers and is responsible for involuntary movements in organs like the digestive system. During muscle contraction, which molecule is directly responsible for releasing the energy needed for the power stroke? A. ATP. B. Calcium ions. C. ADP. D. Troponin. The correct answer is A. ATP is hydrolyzed to provide the energy needed for the myosin head to perform the power stroke in muscle contraction. Which part of the skeletal muscle fiber contains the contractile proteins actin and myosin? A. Sarcoplasm. B. Sarcomere. C. Z-disc. D. T-tubule. The correct answer is B. The sarcomere is the basic structural and functional unit of a muscle fiber, containing the contractile proteins actin and myosin that interact during muscle contraction. What is the term for the connection between a motor neuron and a muscle fiber? A. Neuronal portal. B. Muscle meeting. C. Neuromuscular junction. D. Nerve attachment. The correct answer is C. The neuromuscular junction is the synapse where the motor neuron meets the muscle fiber to transmit signals for muscle contraction. Which of the following is responsible for the rapid electrical conduction in cardiac muscle? A. Gap junctions. B. T-tubules. C. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. D. Terminal cisternae. The correct answer is A. Gap junctions are specialized intercellular connections in cardiac muscle that allow for rapid electrical conduction between cells. What is the primary function of T-tubules in skeletal muscle fibers? A. Energy storage. B. Excitation-contraction coupling. C. Calcium reuptake. D. Structural support. The correct answer is B. T-tubules are extensions of the cell membrane that help transmit action potentials deep into the muscle fiber, facilitating excitation-contraction coupling. Which type of muscle is responsible for the peristaltic movements of the digestive system? A. Skeletal muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Smooth muscle. D. Striated muscle. The correct answer is C. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of hollow organs like the stomach and intestines, where it helps generate peristaltic movements for digestion. Which neurotransmitter is released by the motor neuron at the neuromuscular junction in skeletal muscle? A. Serotonin. B. Dopamine. C. Acetylcholine. D. Norepinephrine. The correct answer is C. Acetylcholine is the primary neurotransmitter released at the neuromuscular junction to stimulate muscle contraction. What structure in skeletal muscle stores and releases calcium ions for muscle contraction? A. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. B. T-tubules. C. Endoplasmic reticulum. D. Myofibrils. The correct answer is A. The sarcoplasmic reticulum is a specialized organelle in muscle cells that stores and releases calcium ions upon muscle stimulation to initiate contraction. In smooth muscle, what structure regulates the flow of calcium ions into the cytoplasm for contraction? A. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. B. Calcium channels. C. T-tubules. D. Troponin. The correct answer is B. Calcium channels in the plasma membrane of smooth muscle cells regulate the entry of calcium ions into the cytoplasm, initiating contraction. During muscle contraction, which protein binds to calcium ions to initiate the cross-bridge cycle in skeletal muscle? A. Myosin. B. Troponin. C. Tropomyosin. D. Actin. The correct answer is B. Troponin is the protein that binds to calcium ions, leading to a conformational change in the thin filament that exposes the myosin binding sites on actin. Which type of muscle is characterized by multinucleated fibers with striations and voluntary control? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Involuntary muscle. The correct answer is C. Skeletal muscle is composed of multinucleated fibers with striations and is under voluntary control for activities like walking and lifting objects. What role do T-tubules play in skeletal muscle fibers? A. Regulating calcium release. B. Enhancing electrical conduction. C. Storing energy molecules. D. Anchoring myosin filaments. The correct answer is B. T-tubules enhance electrical conduction in skeletal muscle fibers, facilitating simultaneous contraction of sarcomeres. What is the function of troponin in muscle contraction? A. Binds to calcium ions. B. Generates ATP. C. Forms cross bridges. D. Provides structural support. The correct answer is A. Troponin binds to calcium ions in muscle cells, initiating the movement of tropomyosin and allowing for actin-myosin interactions. In which type of muscle are calmodulin and myosin light chain kinase involved in regulating contraction? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Striated muscle. The correct answer is A. Calmodulin and myosin light chain kinase play key roles in the regulation of contraction in smooth muscle cells through the phosphorylation of myosin light chains. What function do gap junctions serve in cardiac muscle tissue? A. Allow for rapid conduction of electrical impulses. B. Facilitate storage of calcium ions. C. Promote muscle contraction. D. Increase cell rigidity. The correct answer is A. Gap junctions in cardiac muscle allow for rapid conduction of electrical impulses between cells, ensuring synchronized contraction of the heart. What is the primary function of the sarcoplasmic reticulum in muscle cells? A. Store and release calcium ions. B. Generate ATP for muscle contraction. C. Provide oxygen to muscle fibers. D. Anchor myosin filaments. The correct answer is A. The sarcoplasmic reticulum stores and releases calcium ions in muscle cells, playing a crucial role in initiating and regulating muscle contraction. Where in a muscle fiber would you find the highest concentration of calcium ions during contraction? A. T-tubules. B. Sarcoplasm. C. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. D. Transverse tubules. The correct answer is C. The sarcoplasmic reticulum stores and releases calcium ions, leading to a high concentration in this organelle during muscle contraction. What distinguishes smooth muscle from skeletal muscle in terms of organization? A. Smooth muscle lacks striations. B. Skeletal muscle has intercalated discs. C. Smooth muscle is under voluntary control. D. Skeletal muscle contains actin and myosin filaments. The correct answer is A. Smooth muscle lacks the striations seen in skeletal muscle due to differences in the organization of contractile proteins within the fibers. Which molecule is responsible for transmitting the action potential from the neuromuscular junction deep into the muscle fiber? A. Calcium ions. B. Acetylcholine. C. Troponin. D. T-tubules. The correct answer is D. T-tubules are invaginations of the sarcolemma in skeletal muscle fibers, allowing the action potential to quickly penetrate into the interior. What role do gap junctions serve in cardiac muscle tissue? A. Allow for rapid electrical conduction between cells. B. Facilitate muscle contraction. C. Store calcium ions for contraction. D. Anchoring myosin filaments. The correct answer is A. Gap junctions in cardiac muscle allow for coordinated and rapid spread of action potentials between cells, ensuring synchronized contraction. Which protein plays a crucial role in anchoring myosin filaments in skeletal muscle cells? A. Tatin. B. Troponin. C. Calmodulin. D. Myosin light chain kinase. The correct answer is A. Tatin is a structural protein in skeletal muscle that anchors myosin filaments to the Z disc, maintaining the organization of the sarcomere. What is the primary function of the sarcoplasmic reticulum in muscle cells? A. Generate action potentials. B. Release acetylcholine. C. Store and release calcium ions. D. Anchor myosin filaments. The correct answer is C. The sarcoplasmic reticulum in muscle cells stores calcium ions and releases them upon muscle stimulation to initiate contraction. What function do T-tubules play in skeletal muscle fibers? A. Anchor myosin filaments. B. Store and release calcium ions. C. Transmit action potentials. D. Regulate muscle contraction. The correct answer is C. T-tubules transmit the action potential deep into the muscle fiber to initiate muscle contraction by activating the release of calcium ions from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Which type of muscle is characterized by spindle-shaped fibers and involuntary contractions? A. Skeletal muscle. B. Smooth muscle. C. Cardiac muscle. D. Striated muscle. The correct answer is B. Smooth muscle is characterized by spindle-shaped fibers and involuntary contractions, found in organs like the digestive system and blood vessels. During muscle contraction, which molecule is directly responsible for releasing the energy needed for the power stroke? A. ATP. B. Calcium ions. C. Troponin. D. Actin. The correct answer is A. ATP is the main energy molecule used by muscles. It is hydrolyzed to ADP and phosphate to provide the energy needed for the power stroke in muscle contraction. Which part of the skeletal muscle fiber contains the contractile proteins actin and myosin? A. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. B. T-tubule. C. Sarcomere. D. Endomysium. The correct answer is C. The sarcomere is the functional unit of skeletal muscle containing the contractile proteins actin and myosin, responsible for muscle contractions. What is the name of the neurotransmitter responsible for facilitating communication between motor neurons and skeletal muscle fibers? A. Dopamine. B. Acetylcholine. C. Serotonin. D. Epinephrine. The correct answer is B. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter released at the neuromuscular junction to stimulate muscle contraction. In skeletal muscle cells, what is the primary role of the sarcoplasmic reticulum during muscle contraction? A. Storing and releasing calcium ions. B. Generating ATP for contraction. C. Acting as a scaffold for muscle fibers. D. Anchoring myosin filaments in place. The correct answer is A. The sarcoplasmic reticulum stores and releases calcium ions, which are crucial for muscle contraction. Which type of muscle is responsible for the peristaltic movements of the digestive system? A. Cardiac muscle. B. Smooth muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Striated muscle. The correct answer is B. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of hollow organs like the stomach and blood vessels, contributing to movements like peristalsis in the digestive system. What is the function of troponin in muscle contraction? A. Binding to calcium ions and blocking myosin binding sites. B. Anchoring actin filaments to the Z disc. C. Generating ATP for muscle contraction. D. Anchoring myosin filaments to the M line. The correct answer is A. Troponin binds to calcium ions, allowing for the regulation of muscle contractions by uncovering myosin binding sites on actin filaments. Which protein is essential for anchoring myosin filaments in skeletal muscle cells during contraction? A. Actin. B. Troponin. C. Myosin. D. Dystrophin. The correct answer is D. Dystrophin is a protein that helps anchor myosin filaments within skeletal muscle cells, providing structural support during contraction. What distinguishes cardiac muscle from skeletal muscle in terms of electrical conduction? A. Presence of intercalated discs. B. Spindle-shaped fibers. C. Striated appearance. D. Anchoring to the Z disc. The correct answer is A. Cardiac muscle contains intercalated discs that allow for rapid electrical conduction between cells, ensuring synchronized contractions. Which structure is responsible for storing and releasing calcium ions in smooth muscle cells for contraction? A. Terminal cisternae. B. T-tubules. C. Colmodulin. D. Sarcoplasmic reticulum. The correct answer is D. The sarcoplasmic reticulum in smooth muscle cells regulates the flow of calcium ions into the cytoplasm for contraction. Which type of muscle contains multinucleated fibers with striations and is under voluntary control? A. Smooth muscle. B. Cardiac muscle. C. Skeletal muscle. D. Involuntary muscle. The correct answer is C. Skeletal muscle is characterized by multinucleated fibers with striations and is under voluntary control. What is the primary function of gap junctions in cardiac muscle tissue? A. Anchoring myosin filaments. B. Regulating calcium release. C. Allowing for rapid electrical conduction. D. Storing ATP for energy. The correct answer is C. Gap junctions in cardiac muscle tissue facilitate rapid electrical conduction between cells, ensuring synchronized contractions.